Have you ever been in a conversation with a native English speaker and just felt totally lost? Like the words are flying by a mile a minute and you just can't grab onto anything. Well, today we're going to talk about why that happens and more importantly, how you can fix it. You know the feeling, right? You're in a conversation or maybe just watching a movie and suddenly it's like the speed just ramps up. You're trying your best to keep up, but you feel like you're falling further and further behind with every single sentence. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's an incredibly common feeling, so you are definitely not alone. That's honestly the best way to describe it, isn't it? It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. You're just getting blasted with this huge amount of information, all the words, the sounds, the intonation, and it is just way too much to process at once. It's totally overwhelming. But what if I told you there's a way to filter that fire hose down to a gentle stream?
Well, it all comes down to what I like to call the keyword secret. And trust me, this simple shift in your approach is going to completely change the way you listen to English, for real.
Okay, so here it is. The single biggest mistake pretty much every learner makes. You're trying to understand 100% of the words. But at native speed, your brain just can't keep up. The sheer effort of trying to catch everything actually makes you miss the real meaning. It's a total recipe for frustration.
So, we need to completely flip our strategy. Forget the old way, the exhausting way of trying to catch every single word. The new way, the smart way, is to focus on listening for only the key words. That's it. And here's the really cool part. This is exactly what fluent native speakers do without even thinking about it. Their brains are just automatically filtering out all the noise and locking on to the words that carry the most meaning. So all we're going to do is learn how to do that on purpose.
So how do we actually do this? How do we train our ears to pick out these super important keywords from that fast stream of speech? Let's break it down.
First things first, you got to know that there are basically two types of words in any sentence. You have content words. These are the stars of the show. They carry the real meaning. Words like cat, jumped, happy. Then you have function words. Think of these as the grammatical glue that holds everything together. Words like the, is, to. They're important for structure, sure, but they don't carry the main message. So your main goal, your mission, is to train your ear to kind of tune out the function words and put a laser focus on the content words. These are your keywords. They're the ones that hold the core of the message. And it's a pretty simple 3-step technique. First, listen for the words that speakers naturally put emphasis on, the ones they stress. These are almost always the content words. Second, when you hear them, consciously identify them as, okay, this is an important piece of info. And third, just mentally link them together to get the main idea. It's seriously just like a connect the dots puzzle from when you were a kid. Each keyword is a dot. You might not have all the little lines in between, but by connecting dog, chased, ball, park, you see the whole picture perfectly, right?
Okay, so that's the theory, but how do we actually get good at this? Because, like any skill, it's going to take some practice. So where should you start?
Here are some fantastic places to practice. You can start with short clips from a podcast you like or a TED Talk. For just the first minute, try to write down only the stressed content words you hear. That's it. Then turn on the subtitles to check how you did. This kind of active practice is exactly how you'll build this skill. This is really the core idea to keep in your head. True comprehension isn't about being a perfect human transcription machine. No way. It's about efficiently pulling out the meaning by connecting the main pillars of the sentence. Once you get the hang of this technique, it's not just a small improvement. It fundamentally changes your whole relationship with spoken English. It's like you're unlocking a superpower that lets you cut right through the noise and get to the real meaning. Think back to that fire hose thing. By using the keyword method, you're no longer just getting blasted by a flood of words. You become an active listener, confidently picking out what actually matters. You literally go from being overwhelmed to being in control of the conversation. And remember, this isn't some temporary trick or a little hack. It's a real foundational skill. Mastering this builds genuine, lasting confidence that's going to carry you into faster and more complex conversations without that old feeling of fear. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. With this new skill, this new superpower, what conversation have you been avoiding? What movie have you been putting off watching without subtitles? You've got the tool now. So what conversation are you ready to finally join?